Hello and shalom. Welcome to Torah and Coffee. Today we're going to read the Torah portion for this week. It is found in Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 26 to chapter 16, verse 17. The Haftarah will be found in Isaiah 54, 11 through chapter 5, verse 5. And the BeritHadasah will be in 1 Corinthians 5, 9 to 11, and 1 John chapter 4, 1 through 6. So, join me in the reading of the Torah for this week. And be blessed. Don't forget your coffee. So let's get right going to Deuteronomy chapter 11, verse 26. See, this day I set before you blessing and curse. Blessing if you obey the commands of Yah, your God, that I enjoin upon you this day. And curse if you do not obey the commandments of Yah, your God, but turn away from the path that I enjoin upon you this day and follow other gods whom you have not experienced. When Yah, your God, brings you into the land that you are about to enter and possess, you shall pronounce the blessings among Gerizim and the curse at Ha-Ibal. Both are on the other side of the Jordan, beyond the west road. That is in the land of the Canaanites who dwell in Arabah, near Gilgal, by the terebinth of Moreh. For you are about to cross the Jordan to enter and possess the land that Yah your God has assigned to you when you have occupied it and are settled in it. Take care to observe all the laws and rules and that I have set before you this day. Chapter 12. These are the laws and rules that you must carefully observe in the land that Yah, your God of your fathers, is giving you to possess as long as you live on earth. You must destroy all the sites at which the nations you are to possess worship their gods, whether on lofty mountains, on hills, or under any luxuriant tree. Tear down their altars, smash their pillars, put their sacred posts to the fire, and cut down the images of their gods, obliterating their name from that site. Do not worship Yah your God in like manner, but look only to the site that Yah your God will choose amidst all your tribes as his habitation to establish his name there. There you are to go. And there you are to bring your burnt offerings and your other sacrifices, your tithes and contributions, your votives and your freewill offerings, and the firstling on your herd and flocks. Together with your household you shall feast there before Yah your God, happy in all the undertaking in which Yah your God has blessed you. You shall not act at all as we now act here, every man as he pleases, because you have not yet come to the allotted haven that Yah your God is giving you. When you cross the Jordan, settle in the land that Yah your God is allotting to you, and he grants you safety from all your enemies around you, and you live in security. 11. Then you must bring everything that I command you to do to the site that Yah your God will choose to establish his name, your burnt offerings and your sacrifices, your tithes and contributions, and all the choice votives offering that you vow to Yah. You shall rejoice before Yah, your God, with your sons and daughters, and with your male and female slaves, along with the Levites in your settlement. for he has no territorial allotment among you. Take care not to sacrifice your burnt offerings in any place you like, but only in the place that Yah will choose in one of your tribal territories. Then you shall sacrifice your burnt offering, and there you shall observe all that I enjoin upon you. But whenever you desire, you may slaughter and eat meat in any of the settlements, according to the blessing that Yah your God has granted you. The unclean and the clean alike may partake of it, as of the gazelle and the deer. But you must not partake of the blood. You shall pour it out on the ground like water. You may not partake in your settlement of the tithes of your new grain or wine or oil, or of the firsting of your herds and flocks, or of any of the votives offering that you vow, or of your freewill offerings, or of your contributions. These you must consume before Yah your God in the place that Yah your God will choose. You and your sons and your daughters, your male and female slaves, and the Levites in your settlements, happy before Yah your God in all your undertakings. Be sure not to neglect the Levite as long as you live in your land. 20. When Yah enlarges your territory, as he has promised you, and you say, I shall eat some meat, for you have to urge to eat meat. You may eat meat whenever you wish. If the place where Yah has chosen to establish his name is too far from you, you may slaughter any of the cattle or sheep that Yah gives you, as I have instructed you, and you may eat to your heart's content in your settlement. Eat it. However, as the gazelle and the deer are eaten, the unclean may eat together with the clean. But make sure that you do not partake of the blood, for the blood is the life, and you must not consume the life with the flesh. You must not partake of it. You must pour it out on the ground like water. You must not partake of it, in order that it may go well with you, with your descendants to come, and for you will be doing what is right in the sight of Yah. But such sacred and votive donations as you may have shall be taken by you to the side that Yah will choose. 27. You shall offer your burnt offerings, both your flesh and the blood, at the Mizpah of Yah your God, and your other sacrifice. The blood shall be poured out on the Mizpah of Yah your God, and you shall eat the flesh. Be careful to heed all these commandments that I enjoin upon you. Thus it will go well with you, and you with your descendants after you forever, for you will be doing what is good and right in the sight of Yah your God. When Yah your God has cut down before you the nations that you are about to enter and dispossess, and you have dispossessed them and settled in their land, beware of being lured into their way after they have been wiped out before you. Do not inquire about their gods, saying, how did this nation worship their gods? I too will follow their practices. You shall not act thus toward Yah your God, for they perform for their gods every abhorrent act that Yah detests, that They even offer up their sons and their daughters in the fire to their gods. Excuse me. Enjoy drink of coffee. I enjoy mine. Chapter 13. Be careful to observe only that which I enjoin upon you, neither add to it, nor take away from it. If there appears among you a prophet or a dream diviner, and he gives you a sign or a portent, saying, let us follow and worship other gods whom you have not experienced, even if the sign or portent that he named to you comes true, do not heed the words of that prophet or that dream diviner. For Yah, your God, is testing you to see whether you really love Yah, your God, with all your heart and soul. Follow none but Yah, your God, and revere none but him. Observe his commandments alone, and heed only his orders. Worship none but him, and hold fast to him. 6. As for the prophet or dream diviner, he shall be put to death, for he urged disloyalty to Yah, your God, who freed you from the land of Egypt and who redeemed you from the house of bondage, to make you to stay straight from the path that Yah, your God, commanded you to follow. Thus you shall sweep out evil from your midst. If your brother, your own mother's son, or your son or daughter, or the wife of your bosom, or your closest friend, entices you in secret, saying, come, let us worship other gods, whom neither you nor your fathers have experienced, from among the gods of the people around you, either near to you or distant, anywhere from one end of the earth to the other. Do not ascend or give heed to him. Show him no pity or compassion, and do not shield him, but take his life. Let your hand be the first against him, to put him to death, and the land of the rest of the people thereafter. Stone him to death, for he sought to make you stray from Yah, your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Thus all Israel will hear and be afraid, and such evil things will not be done against in your midst. If you hear it said, one of the towns that Yah, your God, is giving you to dwell in, that some scoundrels from among you have gone and subverted the inhabitants of their town, saying, come, let us worship other gods whom you have not experienced. You shall investigate and inquire and interrogate thoroughly. If it is true, the fact is established that abhorrent thing was perpetrated in your midst. But the inhabitants of the town put the inhabitants of the town to the sword, and put its cattle to the sword. Doom it and all that is in its to destruction. Gather all its spoil into the open square, and burn the town and all its spoil as a holocaust to Yah, your God, and it shall remain an everlasting ruin, never to be rebuilt. Let nothing that has been doomed stick to your hand, in order that Yah may turn from his blazing anger and show you compassion, and in his compassion increase you, as he promised his father, as he promised your fathers an oath. For you will be heeding Yah your God, obeying all your commandments that I enjoin upon you this day, doing what is right in the sight of Yah your God. Chapter 14. You are children of Yah your God. You shall not gash yourself or shave the front of your heads because of the dead. For you are a people consecrated to Yah your God. Yah your God chose you from among all the other peoples on the earth to be his treasured people. You shall not eat anything abhorrent. These are the animals that you may eat: the ox, the sheep, and the goat, the deer, the gazelle, the roebuck, the wild goat, the ibex, the antelope, the mountain sheep, and any other animal that has true hooves which are cleft in two and brings up the cud, such you may eat. But the fawn which to bring up the cud, or true hoof which are cleft through, you may not eat. The camel, the hare, and the diamond, for although they bring up the cud, they have no true hoofs. They are unclean for you. Also the swine, for although it has true hoofs, it does not bring up the cud, is unclean for you. You shall not eat of their flesh or touch their carcasses. These you may eat. 9. These you may eat of all that live in the water. You may eat anything that has fins and scales, but you may not eat anything that has no fins and scales. It is unclean for you. You may eat any clean bird. The fawn you may eat. You may not. The following you may not eat: the eagle, the vulture, and the black vulture, the kite, the falcon, and the buzzard of any variety, every variety of raven, the ostrich, the nighthawk, the seagull, the hawk, or any variety, the little owl, the great owl, the white owl, the pelican, the buzzard, and the cormorant, the stork, any variety of heron, the hoopie, and the bat. All winged, swimming things are unclean for you. 19 again. All winged, swarming things are unclean for you, that may not be eaten. You may eat only clean winged creatures. You shall not eat anything that has died, and natural death. Give it to strangers in your community to eat, or you may sell it to foreigners, for you are a people consecrated to Yah your God. You shall not boil a kid in its mother's milk. 22. You shall set aside every year a 10th part of all the yield of the sowing that is brought from the field. You shall consume the tithe of your new grapes and wine and oil, and the first thing of your herds and flock in the presence of Yah your God, in the place where he will choose to establish his name, so that you may learn to revere Yah your God forever. Should the distance be too great for you, should you be unable to transport them, because the place where Yah, your God, has chosen to establish his name is too far from you, and because Yah, your God, has blessed you, you may convert them into money, wrap up the money, and take it with you to the place that Yah, your God, has chosen, and spend the money on anything you want: cattle, sheep, wine, or other intoxicant, or anything you may desire, and you shall feast there in the presence of Yah, your God, and rejoice with your household. But do not neglect the Levite in your community, for he has no hereditary portion as you have. Every third year you shall bring out the full tithe of the yield of the year, but leave it within the settlement. Excuse me. Then the Levite who has no hereditary portion has as you, 29. Then the Levite who has no hereditary portion as you have, and the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow in your settlement shall come and eat their fill, so that Yah, your God, may bless you in all your enterprises you undertake. Chapter 15. Verse 1. Every 7th year you shall practice remission of debt. This shall be through nature the remission. Every creditor shall remit their due, the due that he claims from his fellow. He shall not dun his fellow or kinsman, for the remission proclaimed is of Yah. You may dun the forgiven foreigner, but you must remit whatever is due you from his kinsman. There. I'll start on chapter 15, verse 1 again. Every 7th year you shall practice remission of debts. This shall be the nature of your remission. Every creditor shall remit the due that he claims for his fellow. He shall not dun his fellow or kinsman, or remission proclaimed is of Yah. You may dun the foreigner, but you must remit whatever is due you from his kinsman. There shall be no needy among you, since Yah your God will bless you in the land that Yah your God is giving you as a hereditary portion. If only you heed Yah your God and take care of to keep all his instructions that I enjoin upon you this day. For Yah your God will bless you as he has promised you. You will extend loans to many nations, but require none yourself. You will dominate many nations, but they will not dominate you. If, however, there is a needy person among you, one of your kinsmen, in any of your settlements in the land that Yah your God has given you, do not harden your heart and shut your hand against your needy kinsman. Rather, you must open your hand and lend him sufficient for whatever he needs. 9. Beware lest you harbor the base thought. The 7th year, the year of remission, is approaching, so that you are mean to your needy kinsman and give him nothing. He will cry out to Yah against you, and you will incur guilt. Give to him readily and have no regrets when you do so, for in return Yah your God will bless you in all your efforts and in all your undertaking. For there will never cease to be needy ones in your land, which is why I command you, open your hand to the poor and needy kinsmen in your land. If a fellow Hebrew, man or woman, is sold to you, he shall serve you 6 years, and in the 7th year you shall set him free. When you set him free, do not let him go empty-handed. Furnish him out of the flock threshing floor and vat with which Yah your God has blessed you. Bear in mind that you were slaves in the land of Egypt, and Yah your God redeemed you. Therefore, I enjoin this commandment upon you today. 16. But should he say to you, I do not want to leave you, for he loves you and your household and is happy with you, you shall take an awl and put it through his ear onto the door, and he shall become a slave in perpetuity. Do the same with your female slave. When you do set him free, do not feel aggrieved, for in the 6th year he has given you double the service of a hired man. Moreover, Yah your God will bless you in all you do. You shall consecrate to Yah your God all male firstlings that are born in the herd and in your flock. You must not work your firstling ox or shear your firstling sheep. 20. You and your household shall eat it annually before Yah your God in the place that Yah will choose. But if it has a defect, lameness, or blindness, any serious defects, you shall not sacrifice it to Yah your God. Eat it in your settlement, the unclean among you no less than the clean, just like the gazelle and the deer. Only you must not partake of its blood. You shall pour it out on the ground like water. Chapter 16. Observe the month of Abib and offer a Pesach sacrifice to Yah your God, for it was in the month of Abib at night that Yah your God freed you from Egypt. You shall slaughter the Pesach sacrifice for Yah your God and from the flock and the herd in the place where Yah will choose to establish his name. You shall not eat anything leavened with it. For 7 days thereafter you shall eat unleavened bread, bread of distress, for you departed from the land of Egypt hurriedly, so that you may remember the day of your departure from the land of Egypt as long as you live. For 7 days no leaven shall be found with you in all your territory, and none of the flesh of what you slaughter on the evening of the first day shall be left until morning. You are not permitted to slaughter the Pesach sacrifice in any of the settlements that Yah your God is giving you, but the place where Yah your God will choose to establish his name, there alone shall you slaughter the Pesach sacrifice in the evening at sundown in the time of day when you departed from Egypt. You shall cook and eat it at the place that Yah your God will choose, and in the morning you may start back on your journey home. After eating unleavened bread 6 days, you shall hold a solemn gathering for Yah your God on the seventh day. You shall do no work. You shall count off 7 weeks. Start to count on the seventh. Start to count on the 7 weeks when the sickle of the first put in the standing grain. Then you shall observe the festival of Shavuot for Yah your God, offering your freewill contributions according to Yah your God has blessed you. You shall rejoice before Yah your God with your sons and daughters, your male and female slaves, your Levites in your community, and the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow in your midst, at the place where Yah your God will choose to establish his name. Bear in mind that you were slaves in Egypt, and take care to obey these laws. After the ingathering from your threshing floor and your vat, you shall hold the festival of Sukkot for 7 days. You shall rejoice in your festival with your son and your daughter, your male and female slave, the Levite, the stranger, the fatherless, and the widow in your communities. You shall hold a festival of Yah. You shall hold a festival for Yah your God 7 days in the place that Yah will choose. For Yah your God will bless all your crops and all your undertaking, and you shall have nothing but joy. 16. 3 times a year, on the festival of Pesach, on the festival of Shavuot, and on the festival of Sukkot, all your males shall appear before Yah your God in the place that he will choose. They shall not appear before Yah empty-handed, but each with his own gift according to the blessing that Yah your God bestowed upon you. This concludes the Torah reading for this week. Let's go to the Haftarah in Isaiah chapter 54. Starting on verse 11, going to chapter 55, verse 5. Unhappy, storm-tossed one, uncomforted, I will lay carbuncle as your building stones and make your fountains as sapphires. I will make your battlements of rubies, your gates and precious stones, the whole encircling wall of gems, and all your children shall be disciples of Yah, and great shall be the happiness in your children. You shall establish through righteousness, and you shall be saved from oppression, and shall have no fear from ruin, and it shall not come near you. Surely no harm can be done without my consent. Whoever would harm you shall fall because of you. It is I who created the smith to fan the charcoal fire and produce the tools of his work. So it is I who create the instruments of havoc. No weapon formed against you shall succeed, and every tongue that contends with you at law you shall defeat. Such is the lot of your servants of Yah, such that triumphs through me, that triumphs through me, declares Yah. Chapter 55. Ho, all who are thirsty, come for water, even if you have no money. Come, buy food and eat, buy food without money, wine and milk without cost. Why do you spend money for what is not bread, your earnings for what does not satisfy? Give heed to me, and you shall eat choice food and enjoy rich viand. Incline your ear and come to me. Hearken, and you shall be revived, and I will make with you an everlasting covenant, the enduring loyalty promised to David, as I made him a leader of peoples, a prince and commander of peoples. Excuse me. 5. So you shall summon the nation. So you shall summon a nation you did not know, and a nation that did not know you shall come running to you for the sake of Yah, your God, the Holy One of Israel, who has glorified you. This concludes the Haftarah. Let's go to the BeritHadasah. Into 1 Corinthians chapter 5. BeritHadasah, 1 Corinthians chapter 5, verses 9 through 13. I wrote to you in my letter not to keep company with those who whore, and I certainly did not mean with those of his word who whore. I'm sorry, let's try this again. I wrote to you in my letter not to keep company with those who whore, and I certainly did not mean with those of this world who whore, or with the greedy of gain, or swindlers, or idolaters, since then you would need to go out of this world. So now I have written to you not to keep company with anyone called a brother, or if he is one who whores, or greedy of gain, or an idolater, or a reviler, or a drunkard, or a swindler, not even to eat with such a one. For what have I to do with judgment outside? Do you not judge those who are inside? But Elohim judges those who are outside, and put away the wicked one from among you. James chapter 4, 1 through 6. Beloved ones, do not believe every spirit, but prove the spirit, whether they are of Elohim, because many false prophets have gone out into the world. But this you know, the Ruach of Elohim, every spirit that confesses that Yeshua HaMashiach has come in the flesh is of Elohim, and every spirit that does not confess that Yeshua HaMashiach has come in the flesh is not of Elohim, and this is that of the anti-Messiah, which you heard is coming, and now is already in the world. You are of Elohim, little children, and have overcome them, because he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. That are in the world, therefore they speak as of the world, and the world hears them. We are of Elohim, the one knowing. Elohim hears us. He who is not of Elohim does not hear us, but this we know, the Ruach of the truth and the spirit of the delusion. This concludes our reading of the Torah portion for this week. May you have been blessed and enjoyed this reading. May Yah shine His light upon your path. May He bring you into His truth and righteousness, and may He fill you with His shalom in Yeshua's name. Amen. Till next week, with Torah and coffee, I bid you shalom.